You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. The college football playoff rankings were revealed, and you know how I feel about this. I will discuss this because many of you have interest in it, and it's a thing, and LSU is prominently placed in them. So I'll talk about it begrudgingly, because I loathe how much attention we give this. If you were watching last night, and I didn't watch, and Muso, Paul, you can attest to this. I door-dashed Plucker's wings here. After the show ended, I cut my pro. What did I do, Moose? What did I do? Cut my promo, and
you left.
I left.
You left.
As they were starting to unveil the rankings, I was like, oh, look, Florida State's 23, and I walked out. Don't care. By the way, whenever I was telling you how much I didn't care, you did ask me what I thought LSU would be ranked.
I did.
What did I say?
You said, I don't care, 7.
And LSU was ranked
7?
7. It's so predictable what these goons are going to do. It's just predictable what they're going to do. I mean, was there anything surprising to you in these?
No.
I mean, a week ago, TCU people melted because they were so, how the disrespect of TCU. Shut up. Keep playing. Georgia and Tennessee were going to play each other. They did. Tennessee lost. They're out of the top 4. TCU won impressively. They're in. Guess what? TCU goes to Texas this week. Texas is ranked 18th. If Texas, which is a 7-point favorite over TCU, beats TCU, all of the bitching about TCU last week don't matter. Good, you're in now. And guess what? You lose to Texas, you're out, chumps. So shut up and keep playing football. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4. Guess what? 2 and 3 are going to play each other at the end of the season. So one of them are going to be out. There's room, y'all. It happens every year. I went over it yesterday. The first year of the college football playoff, in the first rankings, Ohio State was 16. In the second rankings, they were 14. They ended up winning the national championship that year. Just keep playing. If you're curious, Tennessee dropped from 1 to 5. LSU is 7. Alabama in these rankings fell to number 9. Clemson, with their loss, fell to number 10. If you're as an LSU fan, this is so crazy. Can you play this is Honey Boo Boo, the head of the college football thingamajig, talking about if 2 losses holds LSU back.
Well, as you know, conference championships, head-to-head competition are all part of it. They've got that early season loss to Florida State, the other loss to LSU. They've come back strong since then. What an incredible game on Saturday night down at LSU that they were able to win, go for 2, and get that win. And as we look at it, we'll continue to evaluate.
I'm sorry, did you say anything at all? Moose, did you omit anything from that cut?
I did not.
Yeah. So he was asked, does 2 losses hold LSU back? What a great win. Well, they had that early season loss to Florida State and the other loss to LSU. Of course. Yeah, he said LSU lost themselves. He meant Tennessee. What a great win. Going for 2. We'll evaluate. So you told me nothing about anything because you were all just going to make it up as you go and do whatever you want to do in the end. If you're LSU, the only thing you can do is keep winning. Just keep winning. The one scenario that I'll tell you if you're an LSU fan that you should fear is what happened in 2016. And in 2016, it's not apples to apples, but it's the closest thing. There has never been, as we know, a 2-loss Power 5 conference champion to make the playoff. We know that. The closest was in 2016 when 2-loss Penn State was left out. Penn State beat Ohio State, won the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin 38-31, and instead, 1-loss Ohio State got in. And their only loss, of course, was to Penn State. So Ohio State did not play in the Big Ten championship game. They had a head-to-head loss to Penn State, but Ohio State got in anyway. Penn State that year lost an early season game to Pitt on the road, 42-39. Sound familiar? And then a blowout road conference loss to Michigan, 49-10. Very similar to LSU's path. The close non-conference loss, the blowout conference loss at 2 losses. They went to the conference championship game. They beat Wisconsin 38-31 and were left out despite having a head-to-head over Ohio State and a conference championship game. In this scenario, LSU does not have a head-to-head against Tennessee, but that would be your fear. If you're LSU and you go and you win out and you beat Georgia in the SEC championship game and you're a 10-2 conference champion, would one-loss Georgia, one-loss Tennessee get in over you? That's the fear. That's the scenario that could potentially unfold if you're LSU. And that's the precedent from 2016. The difference is, in 2016, Penn State's conference championship game was against Wisconsin. It's a massive difference from Penn State beating Wisconsin in 2016 in the Big Ten championship game, and potentially LSU beating undefeated, defending national champ, number 1 undefeated ranked Georgia. That's probably the thing, in my view, which would propel LSU into the playoff. But again, you've still got to clear 4 hurdles. You've got to beat Arkansas, UAB, Texas A&M, and then the biggest hurdle of them all, go to Atlanta and beat Georgia if all that plays out that way. But we have a month to talk about it, which is why the rankings right now don't matter. But I, begrudgingly, will sit here and talk about it because I know you all want to. So if you're an LSU fan, cheer against Tennessee. It's my best advice. Hope Tennessee somewhere along the way stubs their toe, and if you're worried about LSU losing to Georgia and ending up in maybe the Citrus Bowl because Tennessee and Alabama would be ranked ahead of a 3-loss LSU, then cheer against Alabama as well. And look, cheer against, hope Ole Miss goes and beats Alabama this weekend, and if that happens, LSU would need to win out. But you hope Alabama takes another loss, either to Ole Miss or to Auburn in the Iron Bowl. And that would essentially assure LSU a spot in the New Year's Six at worst, and at best, a playoff spot. We'll continue listening to Honey Boo Boo every week. Makeup is nonsense. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.